What's up everyone? So following the last video that I posted, there was a lot of comments and some of them were like questions, maybe some assumptions sprinkled in there. And so this is kind of not the usual video, but we're just gonna make a dedicated video to address all of that because there were some concerns and yeah, just clearing the air a little bit, and so you guys all feel like you're in the loop.
We don't want to leave you guys hanging, and there's definitely some juicy questions in here. Maybe some that we can't 100% divulge. You might just need to stay tuned to find out, but let's dive into these bad boys.
First and foremost, the most overwhelmingly popular question / assumption is, am I pregnant?
I don't know, are you?
No, I am absolutely not pregnant. And I did really want to address that because you should never, ever, ever assume that, you know, just because a woman's physique changes a little bit, maybe she gains a little bit of weight or whatever, you should never assume that a woman is pregnant, and never say that. It's just extremely disrespectful, and you never know what's going on behind the scenes. Like maybe some people are trying to get pregnant and having difficulties doing that, and you know, so it's a very sensitive topic that should not just be thrown out there like that. And yeah, there are also a lot of reasons why a woman's body changes. Like pregnancy is not the only reason. There's, you know, stress, there's just lifestyle changes. There's a ton of different things that can explain that, and quite frankly, it's none of y'all's business. We got a few years before we're ready to tackle the whole children thing, but when that time does come, I have no problem being straightforward and honest, and I'm sure I'll be very excited to share that with all of you guys.
Yeah, y'all are smarter than that. Like, it's 2024. Give me a break, please, because it makes the lady sad. Like, I get a little thick sometimes. It's just the way she goes, all right? Welcome to humanity, y'all.
Yeah. Because I kind of said it was the end of an era, there were a lot of people who were asking if this is the end of YouTube and the end of like Taylor's Travels videos altogether. No, of course not. This is my job, which some of you still haven't fully accepted that this is a real job, but it is. Newsflash. So yeah, I'm not just gonna stop doing this that abruptly. It's important to me, and I really do love sharing my life, and it's almost like kind of like a video journal, and being able to look back on all of these memories is so special. Of course, I am continuing to make videos. We are gonna continue filming our life and our adventures and sharing it with you all. So don't worry, you can't get rid of us that easily.
Yeah, the videos are just going to get more interesting, really. Maybe just time for something a little bit different.
Okay, wait, so one of the assumptions is that Kiki's just going to take the money and run.
I'm not sure what money it is that you guys are referring to, but just so we're all aware, I have my own business, 9-to-5 job. I do this every day. Also, don't know how much money it is that you think that Taylor's making from this, but it's not enough to take and run. Yeah, I also just love the lady. I don't need to take her money and run. She takes my money after, so.
Hey, that's not true. Okay, next up, why did I sell Gypsy Moon? That one's kind of tough to answer in a small amount of words, but it's kind of just a multitude of different reasons. One being that, you know, we came together and Kiki left his 47-foot catamaran, came onto mine. We'd kind of just outgrown it a little bit for what we were looking for, what we needed. I felt like I had got everything that I was wanting out of that boat. I knew that it was going to be my first blue water boat, that I was probably only going to have it for about 3 years because everything goes in steps and stages, and that was just step one for me. And I never anticipated to hang on to it forever or years and years and years and years. I kind of knew that there was a bit of a time limit on it, and we just kind of got to that point where we had outgrown it. I had gained so much knowledge and grown a lot in my skills that we were just kind of looking for something a bit more, and also maybe a bit of a change of pace. And we have a lot of external things going on in our life right now, including getting married and trying to figure out Canadian, American citizenship, immigration, planning a wedding. All of these things are very time consuming and very difficult to do on a boat in the middle of the ocean, you know?
Yeah, and just for myself, I've basically just been in and out of doctor's appointments. So, like, for me, at least in the boating realm, I wasn't even physically capable to do some of like cranking a winch, all these types of things. I've had 2 surgeries in the last like 3 months. One on my shoulder, one on my elbow, and just like dealing with injuries I've had for a long time that I never got sorted out. All this kind of normal life stuff that does happen to people even on the internet. We had to handle that.
And a lot of those things you don't really show on social media, but they are very real. And for the last few years that we've been traveling, we have kind of neglected our health and neglected some of those very important aspects of life that you do need to deal with. Eventually life does catch up with you. The adventure isn't just never ending. Sometimes you gotta kind of take a little bit of a pause, recollect yourself, get yourself reorganized so you can not get totally burnt out. And it allows it to be a lot more sustainable. So I hope that
Well
kind
said.
of answers that question. Next up, are we done sailing? Short answer, no. Sailing in some aspect or another will always be very near and dear to my heart. I truly believe it will always be a part of my life, even if that means it's not permanent. Like, we may not be on a boat 24/7, but in some facets, sailing will always be important to me. It'll always be a part of my life.
We're not dead yet. There's time for anything.
Yeah.
You know? And we don't know. Like, as you can probably tell, our lives change as rapidly as the weather. And on that path with selling Gypsy, it was a great time in the market to get rid of a boat, which also made it a terrible time in the market to get back into a boat. So she did a lot of work on the boat was in good shape, and the boat's value was at its peak, basically.
My whole thing is I don't want to repeat everything that I just had to do on Gypsy Moon. And the number one thing is, like, I don't want to be chasing down other people's problems, because if you've owned a used boat, you know that that is what you spend half your time doing, is chasing down all the shit that the previous owners did to it. So what we want moving forward with getting into sailing and getting another boat is we do want a new boat. However, it's not exactly possible for us right now. Again, weddings are expensive, man.
Yeah, and just life is expensive anymore. Toothpaste is expensive. Like, spending $400,000 on a boat is just unrealistic. So.
And $400,000 is cheap. And we
Yeah.
do also want a catamaran. So, like, we spent a lot of time figuring out exactly what we want, and we just know that it's going to take a little bit of time to make that possible. So, again, are we done sailing? No. Are we getting another boat? Not yet. So that leads into what is next for us. What are we doing? I know that was probably the next most popular question that was asked is, what are we doing next? And so we still can't fully disclose that, but if you want to be the first to find out, then you should become a patron. So patrons always get the first updates, and they get all the details before anybody else. So if you do want to know and you want to stay in the loop and you really want to find out what's coming up, then you should think about becoming a patron. There's also other benefits in there too.
And just if you want to help, I mean, we know it might seem, and you probably read things on the internet, that like Taylor's a millionaire, or you know, that we both make some astronomical amount of money, but that is 100% an internet farce.
We're just normal people, man.
Yeah, we try to have things that are decent if we can, but it's not.
Like I said before, everything kind of happens in steps and stages, and I feel like social media kind of skips over those in-between moments. Like a lot of creators will only show you once they've got the whole picture all together, you know? And so we don't have that luxury. I need to continue making content. I need to continue sharing in this in-between time. We're in a transition period right now, just in everything in our life. And so we're still continuing to share that transition period with you. We don't have everything figured out. Trust me.
Yeah, we're living between our parents' houses right now.
I hope that that addressed some of people's questions, concerns, assumptions, and maybe allows you a little more insight into our lives and what that actually looks like. Because social media loves to put everything in a perfectly wrapped, presentable manner, and life's just not always that way sometimes. So yeah, this is the real stuff. This is what is actually going on. For all of you guys who have stuck around all this time and continued to support my channel and have just been so positive, and it really is what motivates me to keep going. And you guys, your kind words, your positive energy, hearing how my videos impact you is so important. And so I just want to say thank you so much.
Yeah. And know that your comments and the nice things that you guys say, that all impacts her life, our life. You're very much appreciated. Everything you guys do is rad. I mean, you've heard me say this before, but the YouTube world has surprised me. So thank you all for being kind to this lovely woman.
All right, guys, we will catch you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.